What up, y'all? My name is Chibbi. I'm going to be your host for this evening, and welcome to the Right About Now presents the Virtual Slam Head-to-Head Edition. So right now, we have 8 poets in the backstage area ready to go off in a head-to-head battle. What's going to happen if we're going to cut it down in 3 different rounds? So we got 8 poets, then we're going to cut it down to 4 poets, then we're going to cut it down to 2 poets, and one lucky winner is going to walk away with $100 cash tonight. And the way that that's going to happen is by audience vote. So you guys get to decide who wins tonight's rounds. So how this works is each poet is going to be given 2 minutes and 10 seconds to perform an original poem. Now, because typically the rules are whatever is accessible to everyone is accessible in your poems, costumes and props are allowed. They may or may not make an appearance, but what's accessible in your house is accessible to everyone in their own houses. So we're going to put 2 poets one-on-one, head-to-head. They're each going to do their poems, and then y'all are going to vote to see who wins that round and moves on to the next round. So we've already decided the order randomly of the 8 poets and who's going to be competing against who. They don't know who they're competing against. Only I know who they're competing against. They will find out live, as will you. Then we're going to go into tournament bracket style. And so the winner of bout 1 will go against the winner of bout 2 in the subsequent rounds until we are left with one ultimate champion that walks away with $100. They have 2 minutes and 10 seconds. At 2 minutes and 10 seconds, they will be muted because that's the way we work in the virtual world. And you guys get to vote for who wins. I think those are the rules. That's how it happens. The order has been determined for the first round. Afterwards, we will flip coins to figure out who's going. They all know the rules. You're not here for the rules, audience. You're here for the poetry. So, that being said, we can't just jump right into it. Even though they're ready to go, they've got some nerves. They're not sure what's happening yet. They need to themselves. So we're going to have a sacrificial round so that we can test out our voting capabilities so that you guys can get used to how this works because you, the audience, are such an integral part of this competition because you decide the winners. So we got ourselves a sacrificial round. Going up first in the sacrificial round. Y'all make some noise. Y'all show some love in the comments. Also, use the comment section. I'm watching it. We're all watching the comment section. I see it. I see it. People are already excited. So use the comment section. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you're digging. Let us know what you're liking. If there's a line that resonated with you, put it in the comment section. Let these poets know that you down with what they're throwing out there. Any hoozle. First up, in the sacrificial round, y'all show some love for Lady Rianna.
I have been folding my tongue beneath itself, bleaching my language, clenching my jaw with shackled teeth because the moment I open my mouth, uprising spring from my saliva, my dialogue is cruddy. Trample with the muddy boots of trade and migration, battling nations in my diaphragm so the rhythm in my diction sounds like a war cry, and despite the white stuffed down my windpipe, I talk black with nappy phonics. Syllables that kink and twist, naughty expression that beads on my palate, so glow in this spit shine flow, Jerry curl jogging, bongo drums in my diction. This slang is semantic resistance, off with the head of the king's English. Can't you smell the riot on my breath? Char in my esophagus, my laugh is arsenic. And ain't enough opiates in this elementary education to hook me on phonics or gentrify the djembe out of my pronunciation. Love the taste of this cornbread accent. Sugar cane slang my tongue is. Motherland, mama of civilization, birth of every nation. Scat, boom, back, hi-hat, jazz, sax. There is music in my melanin and I be talking hella black. With a neck roll to articulate my tone. Conversations get you high as my cheekbones and lingo about lush as these hips Western grown, thick thighs and deep fried vernacular, hand motions and sound effects, hieroglyphics hidden in my messages. My breath is the building of the pyramids on repeat. I'm like a Negro spiritual sampled over a trap beat. There is a black anthem inside my belly, so I will always lift every voice and speak.
Y'all, that was Lady Breon kicking off the sacrificial round. Lady Breon is going to be going head-to-head against this next poet, Nora Cooper. Show some love in the comments section for Nora Cooper.
You asked if you could call to say goodbye if you were ever really gonna kill yourself. Sure, but I won't write your obituary. Instead, I'll commission it from a dead-end journalist who'll say things like, at peace, better place, fought the good fight, might reference the loving embrace of capital G God at least 4 times, might quote Charles fucking Bukowski, but I won't stop them because I won't write your obituary. And yeah, you can call me, but I won't tell you it's okay, that I understand. I won't forgive you. You will not leave on good terms with me because I do not understand. I will not watch you sail away on a flaming Viking ship, my hands glued to my forehead. I will not hold your hand steady around a gun, and after, I won't come by to pick up the package of body parts you will have left specifically for me. I'll get a call like, ma'am, what would you have us do with them? And I'll say, burn them, throw them at school children, feed them to stray cats. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want your heart. It's not yours anymore. It's just a heart now, and I already have one. I don't want your lungs, just deflated birthday party balloons that can't breathe anymore. I don't want a jar of your teeth as a memento. I don't want your ripped off skin, a blanket to wrap myself in when I need to feel like you're still here somehow. You won't be there. There's no blood there. There's no life there. There's no you there, and I want you, and I will write you so many shitty dead friend poems that people will start to confuse my tongue for your tombstone and try to plant daisies in my throat before I ever write you an obituary while you're still fucking here. So the answer to your question is yes. If you're ever really gonna kill yourself, yes, please call me.
All right, y'all. So that was the second poet in the sacrificial round. It is Lady Breon versus Nora Cooper. We've already dropped the link in the comments section. So you guys need to click on that link, and then you need to vote for who you think won that round. Okay? That's how it works here. You get to decide who won that round. And I know it's an impossible decision. Goddamn. How do you decide? But you got to make a decision. Okay, so we're going to leave it up for about a minute or so. I'm just going to talk meanwhile. You saw a couple of videos, pre-recorded videos. That is how we do our sacrifices here at the Virtual Slam. But all the poetry that you're going to be seeing tonight is live. These poets are currently sitting at their computers or phones ready to compete in tonight's competition for $100 cash. And if you're thinking to yourself, I want a chance to compete for $100 cash, all you got to do is become a Right About Now subscriber, supporter on Facebook for $5 a month. You get access to compete in a slam and so much more. I can't even go into it. What I'm going to say is you've got about 10 seconds left before we close the voting for the sacrificial round. Did you think Lady Breon took that one, or did you think Nora Cooper took that one? I know JP says it's so hard. Make a decision because you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that. Winner of the sacrificial round is Lady Brian. So that's all right. So now that you guys know how we're going to do the voting, now that you know what to do, because now we're going to get into the money rounds. Okay. Now is when it's really, really, really important for you to let your voice know as to who you think is going to win each head to head, because only one poet can win each bout and move on for a chance to win $100. In no particular order, tonight's list of amazing poets that are going to be competing for a chance to win $100 and bragging rights are. Go ahead and show some love for all these poets in the comment section. If you hear someone you know and love, do it. It's going to be Miss Zany, Cassandra IsFree, Zachary Cluckman, Andy Markert, Kristi Scribbles, Robert Cohen, Rianna Jane, and Amir Safi, y'all. Okay, it's time. They don't know who's going up against who. They don't know who's going first. They don't know what's about to happen, but they're about to find out. Coming up first and going first in the first bout of the first round of the Virtual Slam head-to-head, y'all show some love in the comment section for Andy Markert. Oh, it's always good being first. Welcome, Andy Markert, to the stage. You excited to find out who you're going up against?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right. Competing against Andy Markert in the first bout of the first round, y'all. Show some love for Zachary Cluckman. Welcome to the stage, Zachary Cluckman. All right.
Hello.
All right, Zachary, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Andy Markert, you are first. The stage is yours.
Some days, I wonder if I'll ever get tired of being an art restorer. So constant I feel is the reconstruction of my heart, I wonder if I'll be able to do it again. Still I trudge ahead, find the fragments as they line together, fill the cracks with my experience to glue together a relic born of forgiveness. Each piece handled by soft-gloved hands, working tirelessly under a magnifying glass to piece my own self back together so that I might learn to love other patchwork people, each of us glued together in a kaleidoscope of cracks, providing in some essence the wholeness of ourselves. Sometimes there are easy shortcuts, areas of my heart not quite sanded smooth again. But that just gives you so I don't slip through your fingers. I don't shine up as well as I used to. I'm certainly not as pretty as I once was. Perhaps one day the shards will create something new, the old pattern unrecognizable, and I will rise again a body from a broken heart, something new created from all the pieces of a life rebuilt. I used to wish I'd come back stronger, come back harder, come back as something not so easily shattered. Today, I want to come back kinder. I want to come back more loving, come back as a symbol of the gentleness I am.
All right, y'all. That was Andy Markert going first in the first bout of the first round on the psychedelic purple side. Throw some purple hearts in the comments section if you digging what he putting down. Show some love. Up next against Andy on the neon green side. Y'all show some love for Zachary Cluckman. The stage is yours.
Does the sound okay? I tell him, when speaking to your son about sex, remember that playgrounds are pubescent classrooms where crude sketches and dirty jokes passed for sex education. Bad information handed down like folded notes from father to son. Remember how often we were told that boys are meant to measure their manhood with both hands. Impossible numbers. Count the women we've slept with as if we could buy our way into manhood with words like conquest, success, score, smash. Naming our sex with words we usually reserve for war, I tell him, Some little boys do not want to play war, do not want to be measured on that same broken scale of aggression as men whose only value is found in what they can take away from women. Remember those boys who grew into men without growing a conscience. I tell him the word man is used too easily by little boys who never grow taller than their skin. In my life, I have had 5 lovers. I'm asked if I am ashamed. What kind of man has only been with 5 women? I tell him, one who understands the word consent, who believes if it was given any way other than freely, it was not given. At 46, I am asked again how it is possible I have only loved 5 women. I tell him, you're not listening. I have only slept with 5 women. I've loved hundreds. As boys, we were told that a real man takes what he wants. As a real man, allow me to tell you that some boys love flowers. Write poems to girls we will never deliver because our language of love is flawed. Even this word we use for desire, crush. How long have we hidden our violence towards women in words we describe as love? How long have we been cornered by our own tongues? I ask him, can we at least agree together as men that telling a woman we want to be with her should not feel like a bomb threat? I tell him on the subject.
That was Zachary Klutman coming up against our first time limit wall, y'all. We had to stop it there at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but that was Zachary Klutman. Throw some green hearts into the comments section if you were digging his poem as well. We are going to go ahead and drop that poll, that link in the comments section, and this is your turn to decide who won that round. Was it over on the psychedelic purple side, was it Andy? Or was it on the neon green side, Zach? You decide, y'all. You have to make that decision. You can absolutely try and influence each other by, commenting and telling people they wrong for voting for the other person. But if you don't actually click on that link and vote, then it don't matter. All your trash talking ain't gonna do shit for these poets. So go ahead and click that link. You got about 30 more seconds, okay? It's quick, it's fast, it's lightning, it's virtual. Click on that link, vote for who you think won that head-to-head. Psychedelic purple Andy, neon green Zach. Who is moving on? I know, Shelly, I know you hate voting. I see it. However, if you're in Texas, we're currently voting. Tomorrow's the last day of early voting, so if you're in Texas, make sure you go vote, okay? Moving on. Back to tonight's slam. Vote in tonight's slam. You got 5 seconds. You got 4 seconds. You got 3 seconds. I know these are really, really long seconds. 2 seconds. I want to give you guys time. 1 second. We are closing that poll now. Moving on to the next round is Zachary Klutman. Y'all make some noise for Andy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Zach, we will see you in the next round. Much love to both of these poets for the work that they put out. All right, time for bout 2 in round 1. Audience, you're so good. You're so good, audience. I'm living for it. Okay. All right. Going first in the second bout of the first round is Amir Safi. Yeah, welcome to the stage, Amir Safi.
Glad to be here, Chibbi.
All right. Amir Safi is going to be going up against head-to-head Kristi Scribbles. Welcome to the virtual slam, Kristi Scribbles. All right. Kristi, you are muted. Amir, that means the stage is yours.
This poem goes out to Christopher Diaz and everyone participating in National Poetry Writing Month this month. I don't want no weak poems. Every poem is in the gym. Every poem counts its macros. Every poem can get it in. I want poems that don't stop talking shit to each other poems. Talking about how many more people they can lift than each other poems. Every poem will set a new PR. That's why no poem is ever done. I don't want no iceberg, lettuce, empty car poems. I want poems that can eat poems, poems that stay hungry and hydrated poems that flex and stare at themselves in the mirror. These are sleeveless, low-cut, crop top, nipple showing, selfie taking poems. These poems aren't bars, they're bar bending poems. These poems get snaps and snap bars poems. I want ass poems. Like, damn, look at that ass poem. Like, my poem just sat on a countertop and looked back at it and posted a mirror selfie, and you're sharing it with all the boys. Like, my poem bends over to do bent over rows and the whole gym stops repping, but sometimes admiring is disrespecting, but not my poem. My poem keeps it moving. I want grunting in public poems. Poems. I want my poems to take up more space but still let you get the work in. Intersectional poems that wear sliders in the gym and never miss a leg day poems. I want thighs so big they chafe on the inside poems where every line is a hit or planks in your throat like an egg yolk wall sit poems. I don't want no weak poems. No New Year's resolution only lasts a week poems. Every poem stays in the gym.
That was Amir Safi on the psychedelic purple side. Throw some purple hearts in the comment section if you digging that poem. Going up first in the second bout of the first round. And now against Amir Safi on the neon green side. Y'all show some love. Kristi Scribbles, the stage is yours.
Saved by the word. They were supposed to be a hobby, a way to express, a way to find the way through to the healing, the way of the steady and out of the darkness. But in the midst of the healing, in the midst of everything, a passion popped in and up and out, and a new way of life found me, and poetry, it became me. It became my soul. It surged through me, through to the core of me, who I am on the up and up in the depths of deep. It became who I want to be with, and how I want to exist in the world. In a world aware where people use their words to heal their souls and find their voices and find themselves inside of verse, see themselves because of words, and express themselves inside of heart. These are my people, these are my thoughts, these are my words, the words of my channel. Directed by God, directly from source, channeled through me to the higher soul of me, allowing me the space to collect my thoughts. Spinning around inside of my head, confusing, depleting, battling, justicing. The thoughts that used to haunt me now free me as they sit here on page and inside of my prose, the prose of my poetry, the proof of existence itself. These words are my soul, are my source, are my reason for being. For the words evoke lightning and clap thunder and destroy those voices, the doubting ones, the diligent ones, the degrading ones. They always try to corrupt and pull me away from understanding, the understanding and the meaning of the words that were given, are given to me as I write, as I sit here tonight. Speaking from here, the words divinely are given, and that much is clear. The clarity they bring is the way through all of the haze. They bring forth the me I have searched for always. They bring forth the promise of change and of peace. These words meant for you from the soul that is me. Thank you.
Yo, that was Kristi Scribbles on the neon green side. Throw some green hearts in the comment section if you dig in what she was putting down, because what we about to put down is the link to the poll where you have to decide who won that round. Was it Amir Safi on the psychedelic purple side, or was it Kristi Scribbles on the neon green side? You got to make a decision, audience. You got to make a decision, because you get to decide who is moving on to the next round and for a chance to win $100. I did see a quick comment in the comment section about, it was AJ Scott asked, how does one sign up? If you want to sign up to be to take part in one of these virtual slams, all you got to do is become a supporter of Right About Now on the Facebook page. We'll go into more detail in between the rounds, because right now it's not about that. Right now it's about who's winning this bout. Is it psychedelic purple Amir Safi, neon green Kristi Scribbles? You got about 20 more seconds to go vote, and then after you vote, come back, put a comment in there and be like, y'all need to vote for so and so, and if you don't, you whack. Or Don't trash talk, or do, respectfully. I don't know anymore. All I know is that you've got about 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, voting is closed, y'all. Voting is closed. That means the winner of the second bout and moving on to the second round is going to be Amir Safi. Thank you so much to Kristi Scribbles. Show some love for Kristi. Amir, we will see you in the next round. Okay, no, I stay. He goes. Moving on. All right, people. It's close. It's really close. Our poll watchers are watching them polls, and it is close. That means every vote counts. So I hope that you guys are going in there and voting when you have a chance to vote, because that chance is coming up in just a moment after this bout. In the third bout of the first round, going first, joining us from all the way across the pond, it's Rianna Jane. Show some love in the comment section.
Hey.
Hey. Appreciate you staying up late with us. All right. Rianna, you're going to be going head-to-head against Robert Cohen. Y'all show some love in the comment section. It's about to go down. It's been going down every bout. So, Robert, you are muted. Rianna, that means the stage is...
Oh, man. Up against the teacher. Let's do this. Today, there's no beef with anyone. There's no postcode wars. There's a united front today. There's looting and smashing up stores. There's kids throwing bricks and starting fires. They're smashing up windows and slashing tires. See, I'm only watching on the news, but I'm in shock from what I've seen. People fear for their lives, so nobody will intervene. No, nobody will, but you'll all take pictures and film it on your phones. I'm ashamed to say I grew up there. It sends chills through my bones. Someone tweets, so I don't get why everyone fusses. Are you kidding me, mate? There's 13-year-olds setting fire to buses. Gangs are walking out with plasma screen TVs. They just don't care, and they're proud, boasting pictures on Facebook they share. So someone called the police, another teen's been stabbed, and just around the corner someone's purse has been grabbed. Someone else is joyriding in a stolen car. They filmed it, put it on YouTube. They want to be a star. So let's get drunk, get shit-faced, go absolutely wild. But that stolen car loses control, and a mother loses their only child. So who's going to be the one to break the bad news that their child got in with the wrong crowd, so their life they did lose? Police escorts surrounding the church, but you can't replace a life no matter how much you research. You want to be a thug, carry a gun and wear a balaclava. Chances are you're going to see heaven before your mother and father. What happened to the good old laid back days? None of this preppy pop culture, blast out purple haze. What happened to the days when crime wasn't rising and it was staying down? But then I realized it's the people, not the place that's changing. So London's always going to be my hometown.
Yo, that was Rianna Jane with her poem on the psychedelic purple side. Drop some purple hearts in the comment section if you are vibing with what she is dishing out. I was trying to think of a word that rhymes with vibe, but that didn't happen. Okay, moving on against Rianna on the neon green side. Y'all show some love. Robert Cohen, the stage is yours. Robert, I'm not sure why, but we cannot hear you. You are unmuted, though. Allegedly. No, we cannot hear you. Let's see this. Maybe take them headphones out. Dun, dun, dun. Since technically you haven't started your poem, or not doing times yet, we cannot hear you. Okay, we gonna give Robert about 30 seconds to come on back. Hopefully with sound. In the meantime, Rianna and I are gonna do some awkward dancing. Robert is back. Let's see if we got Robert with sound.
Are we good?
All right, Robert, the stage is yours.
Woo! Okay. All right. Let me see if I can prop this up the right way. All right. How can I tell the story of my life while knowing so many Black lives are becoming incomplete sentences. They do one thing deemed a mistake, and instead of an editing process, they are given a bullet. I mean punctuation through punctured organs, a life with so much to tell, brought to an abrupt stop, period. But I only really have questions. How often do we forget that errors can become teachable moments through revision, not forced submission? I guess y'all are really taking the word deadline seriously. Instead of novellas, we get eulogies, no prose, only haikus, because that's how short it all really seems when you think about it. Yes, much like haikus, many of us are given a predetermined length, but they can never fathom the depth of these deaths. Black life, eternal. The marathon continues. The show must go on. Thank you.
Yo, that was Robert Cohen on the neon green side. Throw some green hearts in the comments section if you were digging his poem. But before you do, we've already dropped the link. That's the way we do. Click on that link. Go vote for who you think won that round. Was it Rianna Jane on the psychedelic purple side, or was it Skippity Pop Robert Cohen on the neon green side? I'm going to start coming up with new sound effects for y'all. I'm going to have a whole Rolodex of sound effects. It's fine. All right. You got to vote for one or the other. Who's moving on to the next round and a chance to win $100 cash? Psychedelic purple side. Which finger do I? There we go. Psychedelic purple, Rianna Jane. Neon green, Robert Cohen. Your vote's the one that matters. So make sure you click on that link. And y'all, the last round, the poet won by 2 votes. That means every vote counts. So make sure you are clicking on that link and going to go vote so that your favorite, whoever you think won this head-to-head, gets to move on to the next round. You got about 10 seconds left. Got about 9 seconds left. Amanda says both. No. Yes and no. No. 7 seconds left. You got to pick one. 6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are closing that poll. Moving on to the next round is going to be Robert Cohen. Shout out to Rianna Jane. Thank you so much for joining us. Much love, Robert. We will see you in the next round. Okay, people, you're doing so good. You are on it. These poets are fire. I'm glad I don't have to make any decisions here. All I do is circle names and get the show moving along. So coming up in the final bout of the first round, going first, we already know who it is. We just don't know who's going first. It's going to be Miss Zany.
Alrighty. Hi, everybody.
Hey. Y'all show some love for Miss Zany in the comments section. Miss Zany, you already know who you're going up against?
Yeah, I do.
Head to head with Cassandra IsFree. Welcome to the program. All right. Cassandra, you are muted. That means Miss Zany, the stage is yours.
Gil got here and said, the revolution will not be televised. The sprays echoes in my mind. These are signs of the current times that have been completely unkind for those with complexions such as mine. Is it ever really televised? These things, those are seen with their own 2 eyes. What I feel has been described as a mirage of lies. The media paints Black persons as those who are unrecognized. The revolution will not be televised for those Black transgendered souls that didn't fit the mold of being told what society standards, male or female rules that are boring and old. The world can be so cold as tradition takes its toll. Will it ever be televised? Black Lives Matter, we keep saying. Other races think we're playing. When we all want to do is keep raising Black voices up, they are awakening to the bullshit that we have been feeding on with our lives. For others, we keep saying, I'm tired of hearing, we can't keep breathing. For when other Black person's life gets cut short, unnecessarily ending, The revolution will not be televised. I'm tired of Googling up black whatever, tired of waiting on more horrible endeavors, tired of marching on forever. I'm tired of running from shitty weather. I'm tired of explaining my existence altogether, tired of burning, cutting to sever, tired of being careful no matter what the measure, tired of persuading, can things be better? If the revolution will not be televised, is it even televised? The revolution will not be televised. When will it ever be televised? The revolution will not be televised. For black folks, the revolution was never meant to be televised. When can we live our own individual lives? Can we stop asking, don't shoot us before we die? I am now tongue-tied, my ancestors are on standby, helping me to move forward and want for me a better life.
Y'all, that was Miss Zany on the psychedelic purple side. Go ahead and drop some purple hearts in the comment section. Show some love for the poet if you dig in that poet's poem. Coming up next, on the neon green side, Cassandra IsFree. The stage is yours.
Jennifer Schultz, aka Barbecue Becky, aka the woman who called the police on a black man for grilling in a public park. Hey Becky, I get it. You the type who's mad because you never been invited to the cookout. The type always on the lookout for black folks in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong skin. You probably decorate your potato salad with raisins while not cleaning your chicken or seasoning it. The type of person there is no reasoning with. So why the hell would we invite you in, incite you to then harass us for being human in a public space, then play the victim in the officer's face when they arrive? So I'm just asking, how are we supposed to stay alive when we're only guilty of wanting to survive? Becky, I implore you to think for real. What did you feel was going to happen? Did you really believe that a black man was going to let his ribs with perfectly complected sauce burn while worrying about you? Or did you just imagine that his black spatula was going to flip out and somehow flatten your ass more than it already is? I mean, gee whiz, Becky, ain't nothing better than a charcoal black grill burning hot dogs so they slightly blackened. Maybe a steak medium well, because, well, we know you like your black meat a little bloody, or maybe just some juicy black burgers. But you sitting here screaming bloody murder like it's gonna kill you to let a few niggas hang out in the shade of the same tree their ancestors were hung from. Sometimes burned alive. I'm sure the grill master made sure they were well done. Okay, question. If he had been white, would that have made you think twice? Would that have made you think about his life? Or would you still be throwing lighter fluid to it, flame broiling a man's reputation without hesitation, grilling him privately about why he's in a public location? But I guess that really is all right with you. The number of black caskets carrying black bodies lowered 6 feet into black soil simply embodies the red, white, and blue privilege you're used to, because you refuse to acknowledge your bullshit. It's like you're cool with his arrests and murders. But Becky, before I go any further, let me just advise you. I don't really have the time to educate you in the history of racism in this nation, but I do have time to roast your ass. And Becky, I already got the grill waiting.
That was Cassandra IsFree on the neon green side with her poem. Drop some green hearts in the comments section if you rooting for that poet. But before you do, click on the link. We already dropped it. Go vote in the poll, because that's the only way that your favorite poet is going to advance to the next round. Did you think it was Miss Zany on the psychedelic purple side that took that round? Was it Cassandra IsFree on the neon green side that took that round? You got to vote. You got to vote. You got to vote. You got to vote. Everyone's got to vote in order to find out who's moving on to the second round, because this concludes. This is the last bout in the first round. We started with 8. We're cutting it down to 4. You're going to decide who it's going to be. Zach says, I can't even damn. I get it. I get it. Denzel's asking for the link again. We're going to drop that link again. You got time. Don't worry. That link's being dropped. There it is. It's there again. You got about 20 more seconds or so. Click on the link. Go vote, people. These are so close. So close. Yes, Lynn, both were fire. I agree. But only one can move on. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're closing that link. We're closing that poll and moving on. Okay, that's fine. I see that. Moving on to the next round is Cassandra IsFree. Y'all show some love from Miss Zany. Cassandra, we will see you in the next round. Okay. Here we go, people. So that concludes round 1. We started with 8. We're cutting down to 4. These next 4 poets are getting ready for the second round because $100 cash is on the line. I do want to go in and address the question that was asked earlier in a little more detail of how can I sign up? And it's very simple. All you got to do is head over to the Right About Now page on Facebook. If you're watching this, you might already be there. And you got to click that little blue button that says Become a Supporter. For $5 a month, you can support Right About Now and all the endeavors that they are putting together. And you have access to all the things that they're putting on. That includes these cash slams. That includes the open mics. That includes the writing prompts for National Poetry Month. That includes these Sundays Write and Chills. That includes discounts on merchandise. There's so much, people. There's a lot. And it only costs you $5 a month. Now, let me break down the math for you a little bit more. If you subscribe for 1 year, that's $60. If you win 1 slam, you made $40 on your subscription. The math says it all, okay? So make sure that you guys go. You subscribe to Right About Now on Facebook, become a supporter, and that way you have a chance to participate in one of these cash slams. Because April is National Poetry Month, we know y'all been doing a lot of writing. Next month, we're going to have 2 cash slams. That's right. I just said it. First announced. It's happening. 2 chances to win $100 next month. Throwing that out there. Okay. We done with all the commercials. We done with all the information. You guys are hanging in there and being a fantastic audience/judge. So let's just dive into round 2. For round 2, coming up in the first bout, you saw him earlier. You're going to see him again. Zachary Cluckman. Welcome back to the stage. That means you already know Zachary Cluckman is going to be competing against Amir Safi. And in order to make sure that we are keeping it fair and randomized moving forward, we're going to flip a coin. So heads means that the psychedelic purple side is going first. Tails means the neon green side is going first. Safi, say something to make sure I can hear you, because I know you switched devices.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Flipping the coin. Fuzza. Hua. Tails, that means Zachary Cluckman, you are muted. Amir Safi, the stage is yours.
My mother picks up the pestle and mortar and does to the saffron what the clerics have done to her country. Pours in steaming water until the liquid in the bowl becomes the Caspian swallowing the sun. It smells like a home I have not visited in more than 10 years. Saffron, pound for pound, the most expensive spice in the world, worth more in its weight than gold. But if customs found it, they would surely throw it away. However, my grandmother is a high-stakes smuggler. Her currency is my mother's joy. Every time she visits, she brings some in her luggage. And my grandmother always comes through. And my mother always becomes a festival of lights. Looks at my father, reminds him that it is her saffron, approaches me with the same enthusiasm I had as a boy catching a fish, smiles at me when she says, "You cannot find saffron like this in America, Amir. You cannot find saffron like this anywhere else but Iran." And this is where I learned the limitations of the American dream, that you cannot find here what you already have. And I laugh because if customs found it, they would surely throw it away. And I laugh at how borders can make the most valued feel worthless, but they were not successful this time, nor are they ever, because my grandmother is a high-stakes smuggler. Her currency is my mother's joy, and my grandmother always comes through, and my mother loves to feed her boys. So we sit around the dinner table and we eat until the diaspora dissolves. until it's time for my brother and I to argue over who will do the dishes. My mother exclaiming to my grandmother, "These boys are American." I tried to teach them Taaruf, but they learned all of their manners from their father.
That was Amir Safi coming millimeters too close to the 2-minute and 10-second time limit wall, but got it in just underneath. Y'all show some love through some green hearts in the neon green side for Amir Safi. That means coming up next on the psychedelic purple side, Zachary Cluckman, the stage is yours.
Is this the hill you want to die on? A question asked in the military when holding a position comes with a cost. And my last boss, who found it inappropriate to question the integrity of a government that keeps children in cages and speaks the word pride in the mirror. Is this the hill you want to die on? If that hill puts me between you and the children, there is no better place to die. I have given more than half of my life to them. As a child, I wore holes in hand-me-down jeans, quiet and frightened because poverty and gypsy mother made me different. The bullies came for me in every new town, let them come. But when they stood over kids smaller than them, I taught them to speak fist and loose tooth. I fought for them then, and I still do. In every place, children suffer the sins of their fathers, their governments, or their closets. Every place a child pays the blood stipend of history and hatred, my fist is raised. Every place innocence is held down by men whose lust build monsters behind their eyes, find me fighting. As teacher, I fight for their minds, give them poetry and teach them to sing. As peer, I fight for their peace, help them listen for rain from the heart of the fire. As poet, speak words and hurt so they know they are not alone. As a father, I teach them to fight for themselves. If anyone comes for them, they will find themselves in a fight that can only end in blood, smoke, and ruin. There are children in cages, and they have the balls to fly an American flag over innocence stolen. Concentration camps sprawl the landscape of the American dream. We pretend this is history, but the only difference between slavery and incarceration is the cage. Even in prison, hurting a child will earn you the shank or the saw. I love this country despite its flaws, but ask me again if this is the hill I am willing to die on, and I will tell you until we stop putting chains on our children. Watch these fists rise. Watch the ground shake with rage and raise.
That was Zachary Cluckman running into that time limit wall, but still getting an amazing poem out there, y'all. It is time for you to vote who you think is moving on to the final round for a chance to win $100. Is it on the psychedelic purple side, Zach Cluckman? Is it on the neon green side, Amir Safi? Y'all click that link. Click that link. Go to that poll and vote. While you guys are voting, I want to address a question that Linda Marie put in the comment section, which was, is there a way to support not on Facebook and still get the goodies? I don't have the answer to that, but please send us a message via Facebook, and that way we can follow up with you, all right? I want to make sure that that is followed up with, and I just don't have that answer right now. Again, we got about 30 seconds. 30 seconds left. Who's moving on? Neon green, Amir Safi. Psychedelic purple, Zach Kleckman. One of these two fine gentlemen. Battle of the Beards over here. I don't make these decisions. Y'all make the decisions. I just get to enjoy all the poetry. All right, people. Get on it. Are you on it? Have you done it yet? Did you vote? If you did, who'd you vote for? Let us know in the comment section. Try and influence your fellow audience members as judges, because you got 10 seconds left. You got 9. You got 8. Yes, we know there's 2 fantastic pieces, but only one of them must move forward. You got 7. You got 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and a partridge in a pear tree. Polls are closed. Moving on to the final round is going to be Zachary Cluckman And much love to Amir Safi and his grandmother and all the saffron that she smuggles. Zachary Cluckman, we will see you in the final round. Okay, people, it's getting real interesting. Here we go. Last bout before we find out who is going to be in the money round. So that means on the psychedelic purple side for this round is going to be a man who is currently, there he is, Robert Cohen. All right, let me make sure we can say something, Robert.
I am here. Right?
Yes, you are. All right. And that means Robert Cohen is going head-to-head against Cassandra IsFree. Welcome back to the stage, Cassandra. Say something right quick.
Hey, just sound check.
We good. All right. Heads means psychedelic purple side is going first. Tails means neon green side is going first. And the coin toss says tails. So, Robert, you are frozen. Cassandra, the stage is.
For the people who say I don't look like what I'm going through, I guess I should say thank you. But sometimes pain makes it hard to speak. See, it's the chronic pain for me. Nights where I can't sleep, mornings where I can't breathe, can't eat, because food always triggers it. Triggers more than people who say I don't look sick and so I must be okay. But they just don't see what it's doing to me, because pain isn't always tangible. You can't hold it the way it holds you, and it's not loosening its grip up. So there's days when I don't even want to get up, days when the only thing worse than the pain would be not feeling anything, times when it's so crippling that thoughts of my life ending don't sound all that bad, because it's the chronic pain for me. Waking up in agony, aches that linger like an unwanted house guest in my body. Once my temple, now crucifying me daily. I've become a living sacrifice, feeling forsaken. So when people say I don't look like what I'm going through, I cringe, because they act like you can't be both beautiful and broken. It's the chronic pain for me. See, invisible and imaginary are not the same thing, because even on the days where it doesn't hurt, anxiety reminds me the pain is going to return. So I wait for it, staring out the window like Steely, looking for Mister, waiting for signs that it's about to hit, because it's the chronic pain for me. Sometimes it takes an extra hour, day to get me started. Don't get me started when I say the struggle is real, because it's a real struggle to exist. Chronic illness, no cure, just ways to manage it while trying to manage the damage it brings. But how do you manage when the only thing that helps chronic is chronic? Because my job is zero tolerance, and if I lose it, I wouldn't have the bread and butter for the butter anyway. See, it's the chronic pain for me. So please don't say I don't look like what I'm going through. Feels more insinuation than compliment, more accuser than optimist. I wish I was optimist to transform people's way of seeing an invisible illness. Say it's supposed to make us stronger because it ain't kill us, when it just weakens the spirit. And this ain't a pity party. Just wish things were different, like letting how someone looks decide if you believe their condition. So for the people who say I don't look like what I'm going through, excuse me if I don't say thank you.
That was Cassandra IsFree on the neon green side. Y'all show some love. Drop some green hearts in the comments section if you were digging that poem, because now that poem's got to go up against this poem. Robert Cohen, the stage is yours.
When I was 5, the neighbors, real nice people, they brought me this teal Game Boy Color. And it was the first thing that I had ever fell in love with as a child. I played Rugrats and Batman, and a part of me is still there, etched into the screen, my fingerprints permanently a part of the D-pad, the A and B buttons, the start and options, and then it was gone, until all the life and every battery and every crevice of our house was drained of its essence and a part of my memories. When I was 7, after my precious best friend passed on, my mother bought me a new one. It was a Game Boy SP, dark blue, perfection. She drove like a beauty. I played Sonic. I explored places that I could never fathom. And I played until reality and the mixtures of RPGs seemed to blend into my essence. And a part of me is still there. And then when I was 8, I made my first group of friends, the first set of people who didn't think that I was weird because I had a fascination with video games. It was really unique. I tell you, these kids actually thought I was cool. And on that block, on the west side of Detroit, a part of me is still there. And then once again, when I was 8, the first girl ever found me cute. And in that classroom, that 3rd grade classroom, a part of me is still there. And what I mean by all of these childhood stories is, who are we if not fragments of what we used to be, and the best parts gathered into one unique place that define our souls? Who am I if not the same little boy with a lot more money and a lot more words to express what it means to be so unique in a position like this? Who am I if not the same little black boy who used to run down the east side of Detroit, screaming with his friends about how they would be basketball stars or rappers? I still got bars, but still, who am I but him? Nothing but his vassal, his image.
Ooh, Robert Cohen hitting that time limit wall, y'all, but still show some love in the comments section. Drop some purple hearts if you were digging that poem. That was Robert Cohen on the psychedelic purple side. We already dropped the link, people. It's time to vote. So who do you want to see in the final round for that $100 cash? Is it on the neon green side, Cassandra IsFree? Is it on the psychedelic purple side, Robert Cohen, y'all? I'm going to need you to click that link. I'm going to need you to vote, because that's the only way that your voice is going to be heard. We dropped that link a couple times. It's a tough decision. I know, Denzel. I know. That's why I ain't making it. You are, okay? You're making that decision. You got about 30 seconds to let your voice be heard and let us know who you think needs to move on to the final round for a chance to win $100 cash tonight. Because it's live and it's all on you, audience. No pressure. All the pressure. One more time. Neon green, Cassandra IsFree. Psychedelic purple, Robert Cohen. Who's it going to be, people? Who's it going to be? I don't even know. I can't. I'm a Gemini. I don't make decisions. Okay, you got 10 seconds. You got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we closing that poll. That poll is closed, people. That means moving on to the final round for a chance to win $100 cash is Cassandra IsFree. Y'all show some love. Robert Cohen, thank you so much. Cassandra, we're going to see you in about 10 seconds. You'll be right back. It's fine. Okay. This is it, people. The money round. We've gone through 8 poets. We've whittled it down to 2. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bouts. There's 1 bout left. 1 bout left. And that bout is going to consist of, on the psychedelic purple side, Zachary Cluckman. And on the neon green side, Cassandra IsFree. Whose video is not working? Cassandra's video. Is it just me? Give me a thumbs up if you can see. Is it thumbs down? We got a black screen? Thumbs down. Okay, it's not just me. Just making sure. This is how y'all know we live, people. Cassandra, I think you froze. Because all we got is a black screen. And this is the money round. I'm going to need you to come back, Cassandra. Come back to us. All right. She's coming back. That's fine. We do the awkward dance again. Now it's going to be Zach and I doing the awkward dance. That's one way to awkwardly dance. In any ways. So somebody's asking in the comment section, can I please be in the next battle? Zach, I'm going to put you backstage while we wait for Cassandra to jump back on. You can be in the next battle. It's real simple. All you got to do is you have to become a supporter of Right About Now on Facebook. It's $5 a month to become a supporter. You get access to these battles, to these head-to-head cash slams. You also get access to participate in the open mics, in the writing groups. You get discounts on merch, all of that. So to answer your question, yes, you can. You just got to be a supporter of Right About Now on Facebook. So when this is over, not now. When this is over, head over to the Facebook page, WAN Poetry, click on that blue button, become a supporter, and then next month when we come back on the 2nd and 4th Monday for these cash slams, you will have a chance to win $100 cash. But right now, the only two people who have that chance are going to be Zach Klupman with the moves and Cassandra IsFree. Cassandra, can you just say something to make sure that we got you back audio and video? Cassandra? Oh no, she's frozen again. Cassandra. Let's try one more time, people. All right. Zach, a couple more moves, if you will. Boop, 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 boop. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Okay. I'm putting you backstage again. You don't have to be awkward. That's my job. I'm the only one that's allowed to be awkward on camera. Okay, Cassandra is back. Let's see if we got Cassandra going this time. Cassandra, say something.
Something.
All right, we're good. Let me just put you people in the right place so that everybody knows who is who. Let's flip a coin one more time to see who's going first. Huzzah! Heads. So that means Zachary Klupman. That means Cassandra, you are muted. Zachary Klupman, you are unmuted. The stage is yours. This is the money round, people.
For those in recovery, bringing you into the world this way is like giving a knife to a child before leaving the room. You will continue to hurt yourself with it until your hand learns its role in the wounding. Let go. This is the paradox of strength. You are only weak until you believe you are the most powerful person inside your own skin. Everything outside of this is God or the universe or some anything with more power than you. This does not make you weak, only humble, only human. Your ability to stare down the past, to surrender yourself to you willingly makes you something more, a kind of hero. No more the medications, no more the fear, no more the need to bury yourself alive. You have held your own forgiveness captive, broken your bruises open like ripe fruits while convincing no one how healthy the vine. You did not need saving, only pills, enough to choke an elephant with, only whiskey, sex, bodies beside yours with names you almost remember, bodies more broken than yours. Saviors in bottles, how ridiculous it sounds now, but your wounds do not have ears or they would have listened long ago to your prayers. This is why you never needed an enemy. Who could hurt you better than you? Pressing pillows over your face, hoping the air would forget your name as the ones who claim to love you run like false prophets before your storm. Hush, tornado. Surrender your spin. Only you ever had the power to save you. That knife you were given as a child is not a weapon, but the tool of an artist you endure. You have endured one day at a time, maker of clay, seeker of fire. You are the storm that no longer rages, the storm that shapes. You are breath, the space between stars you are. The world does not need another hero. You are.
All right, y'all. That was Zachary Klupman with his last poem in the final round. This is the money round, so pay close attention. Coming up next, on the neon green side, Cassandra IsFree. The stage is yours.
I wish I could absorb bullets. Create a force field to protect my brothers and sisters from being hit by shots from stray cops. Give them the power of intangibility so that they can't be touched. Watch them marvel as I fly to their rescue in dark alleys and cold streets. Make them wonder, where did this superwoman come from who can lift the weight of oppression with her super strength? Be a woman of steel and flex my Iron Man. Fly like a bat out of hell to be the hero they deserve. Have the power to transport to them in that moment of need, right before the lives of 12-year-old boys and sleeping women are taken. Race to Tamir Rice with the speed of a Black Panther to stop these killmongers. I would jump at the chance to face Brianna's killer and avenge her. Bring down my hammer like Thor on these crooked cops. Swoop in like a falcon and Hulk smash these hawkshaws. Expose this web of corruption. Leave the worst ones and a dead dead in a pool of their own deception. Better yet, locked in a cage with no defenders. Call me Cyclops, because I have my eye on them, ready to give them hell, boy. How dare these devils be so blind to this injustice? League of legalized killers who draw their weapons in a flash. I'll call them DC. Dumb cops who don't know the difference between a gun and a gauntlet. It's enough to make me snap. I wish I could clobber anyone wanting to harm my people, stretch myself thin to protect them, or at least go out in a blaze trying. It would be fantastic for us. But as a Black woman in this nation, the only power I seem to have is one of invisibility.
That was Cassandra IsFree with the final poem in tonight's competition. Throw some green hearts in the comment section if you were feeling Cassandra's poem, but do that after you vote. Okay, we have already dropped the link in the comment section. We're going to give you about a minute to vote for who you think won that round and $100 cash. Jim said both win. No, they don't. I mean, in our hearts, yes. In our hearts, yes, but only one gets to win. You are judging the poetry, not the awkward dance moves. Though to level the playing field, I would like to give Cassandra a chance to do some awkward dance moves if she is so inclined. If not, it is fine, people. You need a vote for the poem that you think won that round. Was it Shabba on the psychedelic purple side, Zach Cluckman, or on the neon green side, Cassandra IsFree, who may or may not be frozen right now, but, you know, we got the poem. So either way, whoever wins tonight is walking away with $100 cash, y'all. So make sure you vote. How do you choose between the two? I don't know. I'm a Gemini. I don't make decisions, okay? So you have to choose, people. You have to choose. We just dropped that link one more time in the comment section. So I'm going to give you like 10, 9, 8. I'm not doing fingers right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Everyone was so good, but you can only pick one. Is it Zach or is it Cassandra? 2, 1. Remove. Bring this one back. All right. We got the live one. Poll is closed, y'all. The winner of that round and of $100 cash is Cassandra IsFree. Zachary Cluckman, thank you so much, Cassandra. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have an echo. Do y'all hear an echo? Okay, good. It's just me. Good. So I definitely want to say that I'm shocked because Zachary blew me away like he always does. And I was getting ready to send him this long congratulatory post, but I'm still going to because he's so dope. As if everybody that came up in tonight. Thanks all for just, for rocking with me in that last round when everything, when my whole Wi-Fi went out. If you ever move to Virginia, don't get caught. The cable sucks.
All right. Congratulations to you one more time. Cassandra IsFree, the winner of tonight's Virtual Slam head-to-head edition and $100 cash. Much love. Well-deserved. Congratulations, Cassandra. Thank you to everyone that joined us tonight, the audience, whom tonight's show and every show is impossible to do without, not just because you are an integral part of the show, but because you are also the judges. So thank you tonight for making those hard decisions, for clicking on those links, for choosing a winner each and every round. It was so close so many times. Shout out to all the poets that competed tonight one more time. Miss Zany, Cassandra IsFree, Zachary Cluckman, Andy Markert, Kristi Scribbles, Robert Cohen, Rianna Jane, and Amir Safi, y'all. We will be back. We'll be back next week with an open mic, but we'll be back with a head-to-head slam next month on the 2nd Monday and the 4th Monday. If you want a chance to compete, if you want to be a part of the open mics, if you want some writing prompts, if you want a writing group, all you got to do is head over to the Facebook page, Right About Now's Facebook page, WAN Poetry. Click that supporter button for $5 a month. All this and more can be available to you. Until next time, people, it's been an honor and a privilege. My name is Chibbi. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there.